It's that time of year again when Samsung released their latest and greatest flagship S-series phone. Now the question is, we usually ask ourselves this time of year, or I certainly do, is it worth it? I'm Stu, this is 3B, and judging from what I've seen of the S9, would I upgrade? Strokey chin. The S9 and S9 Plus are less than a week or so away, just around the corner, and Samsung no doubt will have an incredibly impressive launch event. And we've all had the emails, the invites and more to watch this event online and some in person. Now the focus, it seems, from Samsung's marketing engine is it's all about the camera. This thing I'm actually using right now on the S8. So what are we likely to see? Well, I imagine it's likely to be the Note S8 the Note 8 camera or similar on the S9. Now, chances are that is very likely. There is a rumor also to suggest that there's a super slow-mo, 1,000 frames per second, low light ability, and some kind of crappy emoji morphing nonsense of taking a shot and then turning that into some animated emoji function crap. Now, other than that, what else has changed? Well, you know, we've kind of got thinner bezels, which is what we all want. There's more powerful hardware, as always, slightly better and brighter screen, blah, 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 blah. Chances are we'll see all of that. But is it worth really the potential of maybe around about $850 or more for the price tag for that? Personally, for me, you know, more so if you have an S8, and if you have an S7, then maybe. But if you have another brand of mobile phone, perhaps those of us with an S8 or an S8 Plus, you're not getting much more. In fact, if you have if you think of this, if you have an high-end phone already, one that's maybe a couple of years old, chances are the additions found in the S9 don't really add up to much in everyday use. You know, when you think about it, most cameras on smartphones now are pretty decent, very decent in fact. And most of us do not try and take professional shots with them, for heaven's sakes. We just, you know, simply point and click and move on. You know, it's more about speed and ease. You know, granted, the screens are nice, but after a while we don't notice that, and the additions, silly additions of creating our own emoji, perhaps some kids would love it, but unless they've got rich parents, it's unlikely to be used by most adults. Yeah. Now going then on what has been leaked so far, you know, I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna stick with the S8 Plus. And I reckon if you have an high-end phone that's only, say, a couple of years old, chances are you're better served just holding on to that for now and saving that $850 for something else. You know, personally for me, I'm kind of waiting for a real change now. There has to be a real fundamental shift. Now, perhaps Samsung's flexible screens into a device that folds and is more compact, but opens up into, say, a larger screen, as we've seen in various rumors over the last couple of years or so, unlike, you know, possibly not too far away, maybe even next year. So that's, for me, what I'm waiting for. So what are your thoughts? Will you be upgrading, or will you be moving away from Samsung maybe? Perhaps Apple, perhaps you're moving to Apple. Or are you with Apple and looking to move to Samsung and thinking of the S9 as a route into that? Or are you just moving from another Android brand and thinking of the S9? Let me know. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing, that'd be wonderful. And thanks guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.